Hello there fellow modelers, Steve here. Now this video is Crusader Completed Take 2, because I uploaded one yesterday on YouTube, and due to the fact that I had a bit of a backing track on with a bit of a slideshow, YouTube's taken it, because of copyright, to totally mute the audio on the whole of me message. So it was like watching one of them old silent films. All it needed was a placard up with "He's falling off the cliff" with the piano going do 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 do, and that was it. Absolutely hopeless, but what can you do? So I thought as I said in the message, I'll do another video and hopefully you'll be able to hear my voice this time, but there's no backing track, which is a pity because the backing track was very potent as regarding the carrier, but we won't go into that anyway. Well, so I'll give you another look at the Crusader. And there it is again. I'll go around a bit. I think anybody that's watched the video that I did yesterday will have seen most of the close-ups of the Crusader. I'll do a bit more. And there's the 3 deck crew. Now I'm not sure what their appropriate titles are. I know there was one that was the flight deck officer, so maybe it's the guy there that's going go. So maybe some of you guys out there can enlighten us. Some of you might have even been one of them. I know Frankie might have been one of them in his time in the Navy. I don't know what position he held in the Navy. It's been very blurred here. Anyway, but there you go. Now I enjoyed building this kit. It was very nice. It was a oh god, I can't remember what they call it now. An Altara or an Atari. The only problem was the missile rails on the fuselage and the bomb racks under the wings. They were very fiddly to get on, but apart from that it was okay, and the decals went on alright, and the paint job was very easy. It was just 2 colours really, and as you can see I've done a bit of the pilot with his fancy helmet on. And all again, I'll give you an overview. And the carrier deck. Like I say, I enjoy building this kit because it's one of my favourite branches, carrier aviation. So I'll put that back there. See if it's in the right position, which it is. And we'll go on to what you should have heard yesterday. Right, I'll give you a bit of brief history of the squadron that the Crusader is carrying the markings of. It's a squadron called VF-24. Now, I've got a history on I've been looking on the internet here. Right, it was commissioned at Naval Air Station Moffett Field in 1955, originally as VF-211, and they flew the FJ-3 Fury from the USS Bonhomme Richard, and they converted to the F-8U Crusader, as the designation was then known as, in 1957, and in 1959 it was renumbered as VF-24, and it was known as the Renegades or the Flying Checkertails, or the Fighting Checkertails, sorry. And it operated the Crusader from 1957 to 1975, and in that time it flew from the USS Midway, the Bonhomme Richard and the USS Hancock. I can't find me bits of anywhere. Now, while it was operating off the coast of Vietnam in 1967, on the 19th of the 5th, 67, I can't remember the names of these two guys, but it was a lieutenant commander and a lieutenant. I'll put it on the message what they were, because I haven't got their names. They became the first VF-24 pilots to down a MiG, and they did it by using the AIM-9L Sidewinder air-to-air missile. And then on the 21st of July 1967, it was down to Commander Marion H. Isaacs, who was the executive officer for VF-24, and Lieutenant Commander Robert L. Wood, who downed 2 more MiGs, and they used the Sidewinders and their 20mm cannon. And thus VF-24 became one of the Navy's first ace squadrons. So somebody else must have shot one down, because you have to shoot down 5 to become an ace. And then, following a final cruise on the USS Hancock in 1975, VF-24 converted to F-14 Tomcats, and they flew from the USS Constellation, the Ranger, Kitty Hawk, and their final cruise was on the USS Nimitz, when the squadron decommissioned in 1996. And as far as I know, it's not active at the present. So there's a brief history. And I think when I was operating off the coast of Vietnam, it was either on Yankee Station or Charlie Station. It had various unit citations, good conduct operations. I'd have to look into it, but maybe anybody who wants to look into can look into VF-24. They got a lot of awards for period of duty, things like that. So that's the brief history of that. And like I say, I enjoy building this kit, and I'm glad it's done. Now that was for Speedy 197's 1960s props and jets. Now I'm going to use that carrier deck for when my Phantom's done for my carrier aircraft group build. Now I've got the perfect piece of music to play when my Phantom's finished, but after the episode with the backing track for that, I don't think I'll bother, because it would just get blanked again and I would have to do another one, so I'm just going to not bother. But it's a perfect set of music for the Phantom. On the Phantom anyway. This is how I've done it now. As you can see, all the wings is on. I'll hopefully do a bit more work on this tonight. Now I got a tip off. I was watching one of Lenny's videos, and he was doing the Sea Cobra for Freddy's Desert Storm group build. And as the gaps that you see on between the wings, he said if you put a bit of tape on each side, because I tend to put them in with the cocktail sticks, and you end up with a bit of overhang, overspill. And of course when you file it or sand it down, it loses the panel lines, so you've got to rescribe them back in. But they're very prominent on this one, Matchbox kits. So he says put them on both sides, put the filler in and rip the tape away, and you'll find that it's a very thin layer and it should fill the gap, and you'll only need just a bit of sanding like that and you should keep all the panel lines. So I'm going to try it on the tail planes and see how it goes. So that's a good idea from Lenny. He's probably used it before and other people have, but it's a good new idea for me anyway. Right, what else have I done? The Sherman tank, which I've just filled the gaps in at the moment. I haven't really done anything. I've been concentrating on finishing the Crusader, and the chainmail contraption at the front, that's finished, which is here. And I've actually got the British infantry, what's going to be part of the diorama, and I've actually got the base for the diorama, a bit of plasterboard from work. So that's going to be part of the behind the tank, and to go with the, where is it, the diorama accessory. Now, I've got the kit what I'm going to do for Aaron Newland's trainer group build, and it's this. Now I'm trying how to pronounce it. It's the Arado, the ER95 B1 or the B5. Now I've never seen this kit before, but I was looking on the internet and I thought, trainers, that's a good idea. It's original. It's off the beaten track, and it actually has a set of swastikas, which is unusual because it's heather. It's made in France. It's by the French tricolour there. But that'll be interesting to build. It's only a 1/72 skid, but it's off the beaten track. Now that starts. I'll do a proper review of that probably next week, along with the kit for Nigel's North African group build, which is my Rommel's half track. I'll do a proper review for that. And that's now. What was it? I was watching one of Aaron Newland's videos the other night, and it was to do with Overlord. Now I thought, he's going to come on and talk about D-Day, but he come on with this deep voice, with a pirate's hat on, and his son's scarf over his face, and it was just hilarious. On about rivet counters and politics, and modelling should be fun, and it was just hilarious watching it. And some of the he'd put down that in his government, Lenny was going to be Prince Leonard of Northumbria, and Cohen C was going to be something else. So then I clicked onto one of Lenny's videos, and he'd done a one, and he had the glasses on, and he said, I am Prince Leonard, and that was hilarious. But Cohen's was the best. Alright there, Mike? He'd come on with a very deep voice, some accessory that he's got with his computer, and there was a statue of Darth Vader, and it's like, I can't do his deep voice, but that was hilarious. That I really enjoyed watching that. And I think there was what was it, Chris from Primitive Modelling. He's going to make him the foreign secretary and deal with YouTube, which is a joke with him, like with these. Anyway, so that's that, and I just found that hilarious. And he went on about the trainer group build. Now, me carrier group build, as you can see, I'm trying to get all this because I don't know whether I'll run enough disc on. I've seen Chris and Alex, both of them, the Corsair and the Sea Vixen. Now the Sea Vixen is fantastic. It's just with the wings folded, it really looks the part. And I seen Alex's Corsair last night, and that looks excellent as well. He said he had a bit of problem with the markings, but he's sorted it out, and that looks really good. And Frankie's finished his 2 Sky Raiders, and I also watched Panzerman Bill. Alright there, Bill, with his hilarious intro. He's finished his Helldiver, and that looks fabulous, with the battle damage and the gunner slumped over the guns and the pilot knackered. But all of the battle damage on the wings, it's just fantastic, and you can actually see the structure of the wings where the fabric or the platings come away, and there's bullet holes in it, and it's on its nose like that, and the engines fell off, but he hasn't made the carrier deck yet. But that's great, that, and so that'll be. And my group build ends on Friday, and I don't think I'll have mine finished, but mine will be finished next week. But that's just me. I always overrun them because the Crusader, I think that went a month over. So that's my quick video to make up for what you should have heard last night. And the D-Day group build is going well. I was watching Mark O'Neill with his list up, and he's put an email address to send you photos to when you're finished, and they're going to put it all in a slideshow. They're doing a fantastic job, the 3 of them, him, Nigel and Cohen. So that's my quick video. I'll try and slow down a bit next time because I'm a bit The disc's going to run out now. So, keep modelling, and I'll see you on the next video. See you later. Ta-ra!